Stack it up, pack it, turn it ass round and I smack it. Finna go in and attack it. Don't need a kid, wear a jacket. Stack it up, pack it, turn it ass round and I smack it. Finna go in and attack it. Don't need a kid, wear a jacket. D could be the reason these niggas be packing a Glock. Hot in their M's and they socks. Bitch, I'm cool, yeah, I rock.
Best album of 2017.
Every copyright strike was November for me.
What's that song actually called?
November.
Oh.
Hopefully this comes out in November.
Rapcast.
Hopefully this actually comes out in November. Might.
Hey, it's November 20th. I think you can do it in 11 days.
I got priorities.
I got prior.
No, you don't.
I got priors. Yeah, I'm going to the Raptors game on Wednesday.
We are liars.
I'm going to be balling with Kyrie Irving.
Rapcast episode 30...
No, 43.
40, yeah.
I think. We're back from an extended vacay.
We are in our 40s.
It's been that long.
World Cup. Let's celebrate, guys.
Oh, yeah, you got the Italy hat?
Yeah.
Are they in the World? I have no
I don't even think so.
Oh, damn. Canada's in there, right? I think.
Who cares?
Soccer fans out there.
Shout out Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney for
Football.
their fantastic show. Welcome to Wrexham. That you claimed that you would kill yourself before watching the show, so.
And I will
regurgitate that information.
I will stand on that proudly. Wow, so you're going to a Raptors game to watch anti-Semite Kyrie Irving.
I'm going to talk to him about Kanye for sure. I got a list of questions prepared. Really going to get things going. I want to figure out what that who's that guy Harley, that trainer guy? I want to see what his deal is.
Harley Pasternak.
He's a bit of a scumbag. You told me to research him, and I did, and I was very upset at 2 a.m. when I was going through his shit.
Are you serious?
God. Yeah.
Oh.
I went over it, and
I didn't even think you liked conspiracy stuff about Hollywood elite sicko.
Well, I just prefer to live in ignorance because, like, I believe it so much because it's like, oh, it's probably true if it's Hollywood shit.
Because it's just like you go into a downward spiral. It's like, well, there's nothing like you're reading all this horrible shit that you can't do anything about.
Exactly. I'm sitting there. I'm like, what am I? I can't like. It just makes me mad, you know.
Yeah. And like that anger has nowhere to go because you can't do anything about it.
And it might not be true, but there's just a lot of coincidences that lined up in disturbing ways. But anyway, hope you liked our Halloween special.
Yeah.
Go check that shit out.
Or I'm gonna haunt you like.
It's in the middle of the last podcast, around the hour 2 mark, I think, and then we did a separate video for it.
Watch that separate video. I want that to be the most popular thing because it's one of the most creative things we've done, I think.
Yeah, Josh had the whole score, so everyone stand up where you are, standing ovation for Jay Pasty.
Thank you.
No irony claps coming over from here.
I'm
did a great
Andrew,
job on
AKA
that.
Young Jizz. This is Alex, AKA. What's your moniker today?
Ain't nobody flyer.
I like that. That's actually that's clever.
As DJ Drama said on the Westside Gunn album, which we'll be talking about later on.
Loving the music.
I used to be handing out flyers. Now I'm flyer than ever.
Not a flyer, not an actual flyer bar. Disappointing.
No.
But wind's taking off like Philly or like whatever the fuck that Earl sweatshirt line was.
He did have a Phillies bar. That's right. On Sick.
Philadelphia Phillies though.
Yeah.
That's a different team.
Taking off like Philly.
Yeah, I kind of decided to do the Italian meatball
look today.
Yeah, and I actually brought meatball subs.
Oh, great!
For us to eat later.
Yeah, all right, good little intermission there. Yeah, check that out if you want. It's got pretty good views so far,
and it was my idea.
Okay, I did all of the hard lifting, and so did Josh. But
idea, editing.
You did the most acting, to be fair.
Yeah,
and you knocked it out of the park. May I say?
Whoa!
Are you okay, dude? I don't know if you're pretending.
Just acting.
Okay.
I don't know. You guys at home were probably thinking that I was suffering some kind of anaphylactic shock, but that was just
this is the most masturbatory
circle
jerk thing we've ever done, but I'm okay with it.
Yeah, just Link below,
There's
and
one
go
thing
check
I
out the channel.
enjoy.
Except for
It's
that time
jerking off my friends.
we actually had
Yeah.
a circle jerk for
Yeah.
real, and you didn't even have the.
You didn't even let me.
You didn't even let me nut. You thought
We all jerked each other off, but we couldn't.
you said it was
We just
weird.
keep going.
Like, what the fuck?
Damn.
That was a waste of an afternoon. I'll
Yeah,
tell you.
jeez.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. What else is new?
Well, we got to bring it down solemnly for a sec and say
right.
R.I.P. Takeoff. Just sucks in every way, really. Just how it happened, and
Yeah, it
It
was
was,
crazy to hear that. We were going to talk about the Infinity Links album, that episode,
but we just
which
I think
came
we
out
ran
like
of
a few
time.
days afterwards, but we just didn't get around to it.
Yeah.
But yeah, prayers up for, and it's crazy that happened while the Migos were not all like together on the same page.
And
really,
they seem to be beefing maybe a little bit in terms of Offset and the two of them.
But did you see some of the stuff from the funeral? At least, like there was.
No, I didn't really want to see.
Yeah.
it. I heard that Offset was like really emotional. Obviously,
No, I mean
like,
it was pretty touching
I heard-
just to see how many
yeah.
people came out for it
I
because
heard
of-
Justin Bieber performed, which was like a little bit weird to me, but I mean maybe they were. I mean they had a song together, so maybe
Yeah.
they were tight. I don't know.
that's that's definitely going to go down. One of the ones we lost this year. That
Yeah, most underrated Migos probably.
we should do some kind of segment at the end of the year or something where we talk about like our favorite
Yeah,
bars
we
from
could
him
do that.
or something like that. But
Um,
anyway, let's move on to her loss.
Big.
Speaking of loss,
oh, I fucking knew it. I was thinking of the same thing, and I'm like, I probably shouldn't say anything.
we
We're
all
dark comedy podcast.
we all
everyone.
lost a fucking brain cell listening to this trash
Damn,
album.
bro. Holy
No, it wasn't that bad, but I do have
I have thoughts.
negativities about it for sure.
Of course. We're just gonna get right into it. It's a big release. No one really expected it to. It was kind of almost a surprise drop. What did you think of the rollout leading up to it? How it was all like the fake SNL performance, the fake Vogue cover, the fake Tiny Desk. Like, what did you think of that idea?
I thought it was kind of corny. Water break.
My water broke.
My wallet's gone. Like I thought for one thing, like them having to push the album, they were supposed to drop it on Halloween night or something, and then they pushed it to another week later.
OVO 40 got COVID or some shit, like the engineer or something.
Yeah. It felt kind of like the whole thing from the rollout to the music itself felt kind of thrown together in like a month.
Yeah, I think
Kind of like our Halloween special.
yes. But we did a better job.
But we had a significantly smaller resources.
yes,
So
and budget and yeah.
and yeah,
We
and we
did-
did
we
get
had-
it out before Drake. We
That's true.
got the
Yeah,
thing out before
100%.
him.
And we
So
did it, yeah, and our final product was better.
Yes. I don't know. I thought the kind of fake troll rollout was at least interesting. Like, at least it's not like a... Because it's kind of funny to me how, like, they have the resources to do all of this stuff. They could be on The Color Show. They could be on SNL. They could be on Vogue. But they're just like, fuck it. Let's just fake it all. Like, it's kind of funny to me. It's not, like, you know, the most engaging kind of thing. It does kind of seem like it was kind of thrown together in terms of the rollout and the album itself, in terms of some of the songs, for sure. But
yeah, but I mean, if you want to just not take it as seriously, like yeah, sure, like yeah, it was kind of fun to see that, just because like
and they're getting sued by Vogue for real.
it's kind of the idea of them satirizing the whole. Oh, I'm on a big press run for this new thing, and I'm popping up here, there, and everywhere.
Yeah.
It's like Drake and 21 Savage, their whole kind of attitude for this album is like the real bad boy. Oh, this is for the real purple demon emoji type guys, you know.
It's not really bad, just like edgelord type shit.
But so they got Howard Stern for for a clip.
Oh yeah,
where he's like,
talking about bitches
Drake is like, yeah, I just love watching porn, you know, and I watch all the best porn out. Like he's,
oh man,
I don't really understand what the whole point of that was. A lot of it is just 21 Savage just sitting there with the sunglasses on, just kind of being like, yeah, I don't know, Drake just kind of got us into the studio and Like, we did this.
Which is probably accurate, of just, he was like, almost an afterthought in terms of some of the songs, but the best thing probably come out of this whole thing is Drake posting hentai on his main Instagram story. That was pretty great.
Yeah, all the Twitter things just
Me and
being
my friends enjoyed that.
Oh, I just went to Drake's Instagram. Now I'm fucking cleaning up my
borderline underage
pants.
looking woman.
Yeah.
So that was pretty interesting of Drake. But
I didn't really like his outfit from the fake SNL performance.
I don't remember what he was
watched
wearing.
That one.
I don't know.
I find these rappers are doing these like they're dressing like motocross guys from like the early 2000s, like with the, you know, kind of like biker jackets, but they're not like bikers, but like, you know what I mean,
Cyclists?
like racers. I don't know. I just don't.
Yeah, like the NASCAR type shit.
Yeah, I'm kind of over it. There was Roddy Ricch was wearing a bunch of.
Yeah, I've seen that a lot in like
well.
these fucking, you know, high-end vintage stores of like all these fucking NASCAR jackets and shit. I'm like, that's just, I mean, I guess that's the vibe right now, but look at this shit. Oh yeah, he is wearing that kind of shit. His pants are interesting. I don't know. Anyway, enough about his fashion. We're not a bunch of girls gabbing about what he's wearing, and what he's posting on his fucking main here. It's about the music.
But that's part of what makes it hard for me with Drake. No pause. Is like, but just the fact that like Drake acts so cool on this album, and then
I was gonna say,
and then he's posting a selfie where he's like,
yeah, he has all this curly hair,
like, like love you,
yeah, posting hentai
love
on
you,
shit,
girl,
man.
like
a little bit of a loser, maybe. I don't know, man. A big thing holding me back, like, from this album overall is the fact that, like, yeah, 21 Savage, he's real. He's a real rapper. He's seen this shit. Maybe he's, you know, I don't want to besmirch his name, but
he's British, so
he is British, but
That's besmirching his name.
he has guns. I'll say. Let's just say that Drake knows people with guns. You know, like that's kind of he's acting like he's
Drake is fake. He's
actor. Acting like he's tough, and it's just I can't really buy it. I can't really get fully into it because I know that it's not really true. You know.
Yeah, like Drake has a personality. Like he's entertaining enough that like I can listen to a whole thing, and I'm gonna generally stay informed on his new albums and stuff. But like I just don't like his personality that much. I think he's a douchebag.
Yeah.
And I mean, sure, like other rappers I like are also could be douchebags as well, but with him, it's also just I think that the writing is just not that strong. Like but on certain songs on this new thing really did.
I will say
jump out at me.
This is probably some of his best rapping in a long time, and overall, it's probably still one of his better albums since like. I don't know, like if you're reading this almost in terms of some of the Drake content, but also he's carried by 21 on a lot of these songs too.
Yeah,
but we should get into it. Number 1, Rich Flex. 21, can you do something for me? That was the big meme on that one.
That one's still going around, and I'm kind of saying it to myself every now and again.
Yeah, it's a funny line. It's, you know, and I think Drake is self-aware enough to like. I don't know, maybe he's like, oh, people are laughing with me, not at me or whatever, but people are laughing at him. But I think he's generally self-aware of, like, he's going to put this shit in, he's going to do the hentai shit, he's going to, like, troll and, like, kind of be a little bit sus. And cause he knows his meme potential is there in terms of, like, a lot of people are listening. This whole kind of homoerotic, him saying, 21, can you do something for me? He kind of... I wouldn't be surprised if he kind of knew that it was a little bit of something that he would capitalize on.
Is that even homoerotic?
No, it's just people just ran with it, I think.
Yeah, it's just like a Twitter...
He could have no idea, or it could be a genius marketing employee. I don't fucking know.
It's
tough to tell sometimes.
The thing that makes me really sick is the fact that like, it's just manufactured corporate memes. You know what I mean? Like
the memes don't feel real?
Yeah, memes are so like pushed on... The memes that are so pushed onto people, it's like... Look, we're gonna make this a meme, like so that it's just a marketing.
Think he's paying for memes, potentially?
Possibly.
Damn.
It's just like it's just another marketing.
He's memeing for pay.
I was memeing for pay, bro. Fuck.
I'll meme you for money.
But I mean, he kind of. I think that it is a good intro for the album. He says, you know, like, you can spit some bars for my pussy X for me. Like,
yeah.
So the whole thing is all this vengeful, oh man, like,
her loss.
Some girl
you know, part of
wronged me, and now I'm gonna, like, show her.
Bad, yeah,
so
bad
I'm gonna
boy
show
revenge.
her that she was wrong by, like, flexing so hard that, you know, like...
But he's also kind of a simp on some of these songs, too. So it's also, like, is it really her loss, or is it yours?
And overall, like...
I'm gonna show you how stupid you are for losing me by calling you a bitch the entire time.
Yeah.
And disrespecting you.
No, you kind of have to
huge
be...
album.
You have to be down for a little bit of that savage... or I mean, to call it savage is, like... You know, whatever. It's not really that savage. It's kind of like pretty tame compared to some of the music
people
we listen
that are
to.
actually inciting gang fucking wars here, like and getting people killed. This no one's getting killed out of this album.
No,
sure.
But you have to accept that that's the vibe.
That's what they're trying to go for
a little bit.
I fuck with the beat switch, and overall I fuck with the. Just in general for the album, I fuck with the more 21 Savage kind of sounding production over. I think I'm just more. I just gravitate more towards 21 Savage's sound. I like him more as an artist, so I kind of... And 21 can bring the best out of Drake in some of these moments where they're kind of more over the darker kind of production, rather than 21 Savage trying to hop on like a love song, you know? It doesn't really work quite as well.
I would say for the first 4 or 5 tracks are like I'm there.
Yeah, the first 3 are the highlights for me. It starts off pretty strong.
And then it gets quite boring after a while, and there's
there's a slog in the middle of it.
So
picks up a little bit towards the end.
All right. Anything else on Rich Flex?
I want to say this is one of the few 21 Savage bars where he goes, "I know you were on your period, baby, but can you suck it?" He has a few period bars here. He seems to be anti-period, anti-women, anti-women's rights. So we'll see how that plays into the
honestly,
theme of the album.
This album is not great for women's rights.
Yeah.
There's one bar that Drake says it is like women's. It is.
Yo, wait. Rights, speaking of, who is that on the cover? Does anyone know? It's just some random girl.
It's like some Instagram model. I think Yachty picked the cover and he was like, "This is gonna be crazy," and they're like, "Yeah, man." And they
okay. So yeah,
Drake definitely is number 1 in terms of worst album covers.
Yeah. This and
CLB are just like.
It's just like, you know. I'm sure she's a very attractive woman in real life. You know, I just think it may be a bad picture.
I think they intentionally made it look bad.
Yeah, maybe.
Sure. Did they get no disrespect to the woman?
Yeah, did they get her
They got her permission, I'm sure.
Okay,
yeah.
They better have.
Like, come on.
Otherwise, oh my god.
Yeah, 21. This is a bitch thicker than the plot. I like that line.
That was funny.
21 spits on it.
Yeah.
Drake kind of gets on his I'm on some slaughter gang shit. Some murder gang shit. So another thing, it's kind of hard to take him seriously saying that, but it's also like...
But if you don't really... if you're not really paying attention that much, or if you're not really thinking too serious about it, it's fun, it's fine. But
he gives a solid verse, so it's kind of worth it in the end. Major Distribution is another good track.
Yeah.
I was just listening to it on the radio. It's going hard. It's kind of what you expected from an album that drops on Halloween,
Exactly. So that's why I was kind of some of these songs I'm like, this would have been great for Halloween, but obviously we didn't get it then. This one's pretty hard. The Go Stupid chorus could have been maybe better, or could have. But again, it seemed like it might have been probably done in the last few months, maybe kind of rushed parts of it. So
there's a lot of really low effort choruses where he just repeats a thing, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Yeah. I like the little Yachty ad-libs that you hear on here, and his influence is all over this shit. Apparently he has production on 4 or 5 of the songs, including this one.
Certain songs you can really tell that this Drake is totally biting Lil Yachty's
and I think it's
energy.
I think it's to the point where it's Yachty had these songs and Drake is just it's like a reference track, and Drake is just, I'm just gonna do it.
Pretty much, yeah. There's certain songs that I get that feeling from.
Yeah, and that's the thing though, is that I think I just probably would have enjoyed the songs more if it was Yachty instead. I just enjoy, and he does it better, and I believe it more, and it's just, I don't know.
And even on some of the more boring songs, I'm like, oh, this reminds me of one of those Lil Yachty songs I don't like as much.
Yeah.
Even when it's boring, it's sort of boring in a way that's not even Drake boring. It's like...
Biting even his originality, even his fucking... even his... I don't know.
He really, gloms off of the energy of the other people that work for him or works with them.
I wish we got maybe a Yachty verse would have been sick on here too, but that's just as a Yachty fan. First 2 tracks very much 21 Savage.
On
same
BS,
as the third one.
on some bullshit.
Yeah, pretty hard as well. Dope flows they're doing.
Like, they go back and forth well. It's good chemistry on that one.
I like that one. That's kind of what I was expecting, kind of, the album. Like, these first 3 tracks, I'm like, okay. When I was listening to it the first time, I'm like, alright, this might be actually pretty good. I like this whole Papa Adderall for like I lift a tree up. I jump on a song and make a label think they need you. Pretty good. Like, flexing bars that, like, kind of make sense for Drake. I mean, the Adderall thing, like, one Adderall isn't gonna... You're not gonna do that much on an Adderall, right? That's not that crazy. But
I wouldn't know.
Isn't he kind of a lightweight? Because remember, he was like, I popped half a Xan and he passed out on a flight or some shit. That was the whole joke of sicko mode.
Well, no disrespect to being a lightweight.
Yeah, fair.
I would have liked this album if he did more pills.
Yeah.
I would have liked this album if he
that's the whole thing of like
the entire time.
That's the whole thing of like, oh, you don't want these rappers to be doing these hard drugs, but they make better music. For Drake, do the drugs, make more interesting music.
Yeah.
Reap the consequences.
All right. I think this is our. So we have a new installment in our famous bit of Drake's most sus bars.
Oh, okay.
Nothing can top yours from last time, but go ahead.
I'll give it a shot. Get a lot of love from 12, but I don't reciprocate.
Oh, I didn't see that at first.
Okay.
Obviously a cop reference, but I don't know, because that song that we had the whole revelation on. We'll put a clip in, perhaps. All right. Well, I'm ready for this one that you say is gonna end his fucking career here.
Okay. For this one, we're gonna have to go in the way, way back machine to 2009. Okay. The song is called Houston, Atlanta, Vegas. One hotel room that y'all sleep in. Housekeeping knock to see if y'all decent. Young girls envy the life y'all leadin'. Never satisfied with a nice calm evening. You be at the games looking right all season. But you always with me on the night y'all leavin'. Wait for it. Ass low, I always request you. You go get fucked up, and we just show up at your rescue. Carry you inside, get you some water and undress you. I give you my all, and the next morning you'll forget who.
Bro.
Or why, or how, or when. Tonight it's probably about to happen all over again.
That was a song called like Houston, Dallas, Texas, right? Something like that?
Yeah, Houston, Atlanta, Vegas is what it was called.
Houston, Atlanta, Vegas. He mentions Houston and
I'm in love
with
Houston, Dallas, Austin. Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know what's going on in Houston, but maybe take a peek if
do
he's
some
ever
investigation.
down there.
Do some of your own investigation.
There's a GoFundMe in the link to trip out. We're going to Houston and we're going to stalk Drake and try to figure out what's really going on in this underground Houston rap scene.
A lot of love from 12, eh? Maybe you should get some love from people above the age of 21, Drake. How about that?
Ever thought of that?
Maybe that's why he liked 21 at first. He's like, it's 21. It's pretty young.
Well,
it's pretty young
I can't go wrong there.
22, 23, Savage, I don't know. 21 is pretty good.
Whatever happened to 22 Savage?
Oh yeah, that was a fake guy, right? Like a fake rapper?
Yeah.
What if 22 Savage and the fake Drake clone are going to do a collab album called fucking Her Gain? I don't know.
Her Gain.
His gain.
Yeah.
Her loss is his gain.
To come back to the bar, there's a pro-feminist bar on here. I pay $500,000 on these hoes. I'm a feminist. So... take that. Confirmed and not a pedophile, guys. Sure, he doesn't say the age of these hoes, but you know.
Yeah, I guess if you give money to women, then you can't be sexist. So.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was getting at. Anything else on BS? Another pretty hard one. I mean, start strong.
Back Outside Boys.
This is the Yachty song where it's like completely. It's just like
that one is too far.
Yeah,
it's like get your own style, Drake.
Yeah, and I don't mind it, but again, like I just wish it was Yachty. Like
even the way it's written, Back Outside Boys, like that sounds like a total Lil Yachty song.
Yeah, exactly. And in terms of the ad libs, the flows, the lyrics, Yachty's production on here, like he did. This is you can't tell me this isn't a Yachty song.
I like the beat a lot, though.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I'm excited for new Yachty music. I just, I don't want Drake to do it.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Privileged Rappers. decent song.
Yeah, it's okay.
I like the concept.
It's a little bit boring after a while. It doesn't have like that much energy.
There's at least a concept about like these rappers that don't actually. But then Drake is kind of the perfect privileged rapper. Like, but then again, when he came up, there wasn't that many people from Canada in the rap game, and now there's a lot more. So you have to give a tiny bit of respect. But that's all you're gonna hear from me.
This is to me. This is the first song that is like a Drake kind of sounding song in terms of the production and like the energy but it's one of the better kind of like Drake sounding songs on here. I think overall. The diamonds hit like a rainbow. That's because of the necklace of Frank. Because there's pictures of him at a Raptors game or something where he's rocking a Frank Ocean chain.
Oh,
so that's where the necklace on Rainbow Frank. He's bisexual, so that's.
I thought it was a thing about like Franklin, like Benjamin Franklin's or something.
Well, unless he's a closeted homosexual, then probably not. I don't know if we can confirm.
Do your own research. Founding fathers were all gay.
I believe it.
Ben Franklin? Let's talk about it.
I fuck with the 21 Savage bar. I'm wiping my dick with her bra. Classic move.
Wait, what?
Hold up.
You skipped that? You missed that one? I'm wiping my dick with her bra. 21 Savage, 2022.
I mean, just get a towel. But
anyway, you don't keep tissues around. And then another bar of anti-period, anti-woman. How do you come over when you know it's your time of the month? I mean, I've said it, but like, it's 21. Come on, man. You don't say that out loud. Come on.
I mean, if it's just the fellas,
a little more respectful. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Sorry, there's like a dog dying upstairs.
Yeah,
by
like
the way.
What's going on?
My dad's wrestling with her probably. Hopefully, we won't be able to pick it up.
Sounds like you're playing Johnny Cash records up there. Spin Bout You.
Probably the first stinker to me.
That one is more of a
again
bad 21 Savage song that Drake kind of hops on and does his bad Drake thing on.
Yeah.
And it's like
it's
a bad sandwich. Like
neither of them really deliver.
It's like a fucking anchovies and
21 is like
mayonnaise sandwich or some shit.
Yeah. This was where we do get the pro-feminist bar of Drake being just turn on the news to that men who never got pussy in school are making laws about what women can do. That's, I give it to him in terms
fake feminist, fuck you. You just said on the earlier tracks about, like,
fuck these hoes and shit. Yeah, it's tough to kind of take it seriously.
I also don't like the whole, like, since you never got pussy, that's why you are trying to... It's like, no, these people, like, these are married men that are, like... They do have. They're just
who have genuine hate for women.
But yeah, sure, they genuinely are evil. But like,
not the way you're thinking.
Like, there's like the incels are the ones that are. But then again, incels are behind like anti-women.
Yes, of course.
Ideas, obviously, but
I get where he's coming from. But it's you can poke holes through that pretty easily. I also despise the whole 4 words when I think about them is crusty, musty, dusty, rusty. 8 words when I think about us is fuck me, fuck me, fuck me, fuck me. Bad.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
21 has a thing about like, what's your, fuck, I don't want to see your main page. Show me your Finsta.
Yeah, I'm trying to get to know you.
Like, she used to be a volleyball player, dog. Like, man, I'm getting so hard thinking about it. Like, it's just these like social media like
struggle bars of trying to fuck these chicks.
Yeah,
and,
it's like
chicks with 5 Instagram accounts. Like, no, 3 max.
You know too much about this Instagram stuff. Like, put the phone down, guys.
Yeah, come on.
As I pick up my phone,
of course. Number 7, Hours in Silence. This is the one that's just
boring.
I just have slog all capitals written for that one, and a little thumbs down that I attempted to draw. It's like a Drake song in all the worst ways. It's long. He's just
talking about nothing.
He seems like he's just trying melodies and just like 21 has like 8 bars on it. Like he's barely on the song.
Completely tacked on.
Yeah, it has no right being almost fucking 7 minutes long. That's for sure. Terrible song.
This one, next track, Treacherous Twins, almost has value just because of how much I hate the phrase treacherous. You my treacherous little twin. You're my treacherous.
The song is kind of inconsequential. It just doesn't really have to be there. I don't know. It's okay, but it's not
like
doesn't really do anything for me.
This could have just been a no song. Could have just been a caption for a photo of him with a girl. You're my treacherous little twin.
Yeah,
that could have been.
Yeah, it could have been it.
But instead, we got this whole song.
And at first, I was looking forward to the song because I'm like, Treacherous Twins. Oh, it's the two of them. It's going to be some murder shit, some gang shit. But then it's a kind of another kind of Drake sounding song.
Yeah, I think that it's really weird to say about your girlfriend or whatever that you're my twin.
Like, no, that's not... Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to have sex with my twin. I'm sorry, but like...
Or, she's like my sister. She's like my best friend. No.
We share clothes, you know? This shit's real.
Yeah. I don't know about that one.
Yeah.
Raised eyebrows.
I have the puke face emoji next to that one. But that one is also probably a Yachty
I think he might have had production on that, maybe. I can't exactly remember. Circo Loco... Pretty decent one.
I gave it 1 check mark just because like it gave me a laugh.
Yeah,
I kind of like.
What do you think of the Daft Punk sample? First of all,
yeah, I like the idea of throwing like a really obvious sample in there that kind of like recontextualizes a song from like 20 years ago.
I haven't thought about that song for so long, so it's like I heard it. I'm like, oh shit.
Yeah, one more time. And that one deserved a remix. I thought they actually did a good job with that one. Yeah. And that was one where you got...
Pretty tastefully done.
That's the
Megan Thee Stallion
Meg disc comes. Bar. I know this is kind of a social media thing that was already figured out like 2 weeks ago, but it is what it is.
I don't know if I have anything original to say, really.
He said...
It's sus.
You're getting shots and like she's a stallion.
Yeah, she's faking that she got shot, but she's still a stallion. She's laughing at that. Even though she don't get it or something, I don't know.
Yeah, so they thought it was about Meg Thee Stallion, but some people thought it was about Crow Maz, the Toronto.
Oh, did they? Oh, I have no idea.
I just remember seeing that.
He says stallion in it. Like, come on, like that's.
I guess obvious. It was the other verse. There's another song in the lyric in the same verse where he's like, she's a 10, but it sounds good on mute. Like I put it on track 1. Yeah. Track 1, I heard enough.
Right. Well, I also saw the main one I saw was like, is she getting fake shots or whatever? People were like, oh, he's talking about she's getting fucking implants and shit like that, not being shot. But I'm like, he's from Toronto. He's worked with Tory Lanez in the past. I feel like that's kind of a stretch to be like, oh no, it's just about implants and shit. Like, no, I don't know.
He knew what he was doing.
He knew what he was doing, and you know, at the end of the day, it's still up in the matter of in terms of the court and shit. It's still not actually officially fucking lawfully decided about what the fuck actually happened. We don't actually know, but all we can do is speculate, and But
the fact that like it wasn't more of a big deal shows that like people are really not very consistent in who they apply fucking criticism to for being like misogynistic or racist or whatever it might be. But like especially with this case of like Drake is basically allowed to say whatever he wants, and people will just think, oh well, he's
because if 21 Savage said the same bar, he would probably get more flack for it.
Yeah,
that argument.
But I mean, he's not as famous as Drake, so it's
and also he's more of a fucking savage. Obviously, he's more likely to say something like that. So maybe it's a little bit surprising coming from Drake, but like, in the day, I didn't think of too much of it. But people seem to fucking just run with it as soon as they heard it. So
yeah, I mean, maybe the whole story of Meg getting shot by Tory Lanez is like going to lose its power at some point. Mm-hmm. But like Meg Thee Stallion's still a pretty big artist. She was pretty mad about it. And went on a whole tweet storm on it.
Yep.
I can't see them like working together in the future.
But she has a credit on Rich Flex. They do a Savage just like I'm a savage. He has like the same flow. So I think she technically has a credit on the album. But I can't really imagine them working together. And like, Meg Thee Stallion's still doing great after this, and Tory Lanez has only really gotten worse, which is kind of a good thing. So it was already kind of bad to me, but I don't know.
That's why
kind of worked out in my mind.
That's why I can't muster that much of a care about this, because fuck Tory Lanez. Like his music's not that good anyway. But
overall, I think it's a pretty good like Drake verse. I mean, he's spitting. He has the bar linking with the ops to that shit for Jay Prince, referencing the Kanye and Drake show they did together last year. And 21 has a good bar. All the ops get bullets on some Oprah shit. I thought that was pretty funny too. Decent, pretty good track.
Crody Turn Me Up.
I didn't really like that or understand. It's just Brody, because I think Ab-Soul said something similar on his new song. And I'm like, I guess it's just Brody, but Crip Brody. But I'm like, Brody is a little bit kind of. I don't really, I fuck with TJ Brody, not whoever the fuck y'all are talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out the Calgary Flames.
And he's a Leaf now too, so hey. Best of both worlds. Come on.
All right, Pussy in Millions, disappointing track.
Yeah, I mean,
Travis Scott.
I think it's
trash.
I like the beat. I like what Drake did. 21 Savage was okay, but it's kind of, again, it's more kind of a Drake song, so I don't know if he really fit. Travis was just kind of boring feature. I liked it more at first, but the more I listened to it, the whole song, I'm like,
Twitter was so annoying on the couple days after this came out, and people are like doing threads about like, oh, every single time Travis does a collaboration with Drake,
yeah, it's fire.
Which one is better, Sicko Mode or whatever? It's like, this is nothing. This is like
Sicko Mode's probably the only fucking good one. Honestly.
Yeah,
like I don't know, and even that was fucking overhyped to an extent, just because it was so big. I hate the bar, and it's in the chorus too. I'm trying to call a sex symbol to eat my kids up, and the way he says it, I'm like, ew, Drake, gross.
I don't like the whole "eat my kids" thing.
Yeah. And 21 Savage has a bar, she pretty, she show off her toes, so just wanted to throw that out there into the ethos and see what happens there.
And if anyone wants to post toe pics below...
We got toes out here right now. That's the thumbnail.
Literally.
The toenail, I guess.
Our most clicked on video.
I'm going to Photoshop us with huge female feet. Like, sexy.
If that's our most clicked on video, I'm going to kill myself.
Gets fucking 10 times the views the fucking Halloween shit.
I'll jump off the bridge.
Here's where the album starts to pick up again.
Get better.
In my opinion.
Yeah, the next three tracks are good.
I really like Broke Boys.
Broke Boys is good because again, it's a 21 Savage kind of sounding song. It's menacing. It's fucking evil sounding.
It's like kind of a horrorcore vibe to it, and I like what Drake does on it to fit in, where he kind of is like, "This shit better go."
Yeah, uses his. He uses his kind of melodic game to bring something to the table, and they both bring it. I think the beat switch I don't like as much just because the chorus of just Drake going fucking I don't fuck with broke boys, I don't fuck with broke boys. It's just kind of a little bit rough sounding, but it's not bad. I get what he's going for.
I like when it switches up and you get those Metro Boomin keys.
Yeah, Metro Boomin beat is dope.
You know, that's like the type of piano that only he could. Like, it's very distinctively his kind of style. The sort of glittering piano vibe to it near the end.
Yes.
It's good. It's a spooky track.
Yeah.
Middle of the Ocean, he kind of raps his ass off on it.
Yeah, this is the strongest, like, solo Drake and Drake sounding song on here. He's just rapping. I was going to, like, write down some bars, but I'm like, there's a lot.
We could do some nitpicking, though. There's some great bars, but there's also some, like, a bit of a stretch. He goes on a bit of a stretch. Would you say that he kind of bites Tyler the Creator's whole thing at the beginning, like, of this, like, I'm on a yacht, like, and we're out, you know, this is some luxury music, we just got off the boat and now we're going to whatever, and it's like,
yeah, maybe. I mean, I don't think Tyler was the first one to do that kind of shit, but just because he had a whole album full of it, then, you know, and it came out not too long ago, I'm not too surprised if that's true.
Yeah, I guess he's not the only type of person.
I don't really connect it, so maybe not, but I see your point.
I
think production's dope on this one, too. They had a bar about, I'm sticking around like coins stick to the cup holder or some shit.
Yeah.
Like, that was a bit of a stretch, but it's kind of funny. I let it slide.
Yeah, that's one of those ones you had to think about where you're like, oh yeah, right, because when you put...
It gets stuck to because it's all...
a cup in your cup holder in your car, coins get stuck to it, because it's like, this is the most random
you have to think about
thing.
it, maybe. I don't know.
Imagine just Drake just driving his car, looking down on it, like, holy shit, wait a minute.
Does Drake really have the type of car where there's like sticky coins?
Yeah, like loonies in this, yeah. Like,
I thought he hated $100 or he hated $20 bills or something, you know?
I don't know, man. He had some good football fucking bars. He had a Ravens bar, you know, Patriots bar.
I actually thought the Ravens one was kind of lame. You would think we live in Baltimore the way they raven about the latest product.
That was a little lame, but I just like that if that was a one-off, it would be worse. The fact that he at least tied it together with a few others is like, okay. Whatever.
Yeah, I had the thing about the Steelers and whatever. Yeah, it was pretty good. There was at least one more thing that I thought was... Oh, he says, you know, shout out to the teachers. He says, I might be the only teacher that gets paid enough. Yeah. You're not a teacher, Drake.
He's not. But I respect him for being, you know, I guess kind of insinuating that teachers should be paid more.
That's like as close as we're going to get Drake to standing on the picket line.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. He ain't gonna do shit.
He's too busy buying Hyde Park and turning it into his own fucking personal...
Be a landlord.
Yeah.
Pay the teachers, but also pay me rent.
My favorite 2 words from you white boys is sign here.
Yeah. Whatever. I'm alright with it. I don't hate it. I don't love it.
Like, is he signing white boys' titties?
Okay.
He
gets a sexual thrill out of that?
From what I hear, it's like the white boys are saying, sign this.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously what it is, the contract.
I know, I'm just trying to find some sus angles here.
Okay.
But yeah, no. He's signing off rights to children, maybe? Like sex trafficking? I don't know. It's something we'll investigate for sure.
As somebody who really enjoys calling Drake a sex trafficker, that one's a bit of a stretch.
I don't know. I'm brainstorming. Conspiracy theory pod. We're doing it.
Okay, but there's one good bar where he says, like, 8 carats like vegetarians, the earrings are droopy. Contract Lord of the Rings, think it's a script for the movie.
Yeah.
And then he fucking shouts out Serena Williams' husband.
Oh no, he says he's a groupie. I think it was like the CEO of Reddit. I think he's Serena fucking Williams' husband.
CEO of Reddit?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I'm
just picturing that.
And people on Reddit were going crazy. I'm like, I couldn't give less of a fuck, man. I don't care. I don't care about Serena Williams. I don't care about fucking this guy Reddit owner. And whatever Drake's beef with it. I don't know. Apparently there was like something more to it, but I'm just like, I couldn't be bothered.
That's one like tiny line that like does give you a certain like a view of Drake's personality and how fucking vain he is. That just because he thought like I like Vanessa Williams now, like but she has a husband and I have to like start beefing with him for no reason.
Yeah,
you know, like
a little bit fucking petty and a little bit pathetic maybe. But overall, I think that's a dope track.
We talked about the song for too long anyway.
Let's move on. Jumbotron Shit Poppin', this is completely yachty track, especially with the flow and the lyrics. I think it's better than the other, like, more sounding yachty one. I like kind of some of his refrains, like the whole, like, and the whole kind of fake gun noises is kind of funny. Again, it doesn't quite fit Drake's vibe, but, I mean, it's enjoyable, it's fun, I guess.
At the point, it's like by the time you get to track 13, 14, 15, like I'm kind of thoroughly. I've been through a lot and I'm bored. Like
Yeah, I think the next track, More M's, brings me back in because that's kind of more of a 21 Savage Metro production on it.
Yeah, it's a good 21 Savage song. Yeah. But at this point, I'm kind of bored.
Yeah.
There's a kind of racist line he has about
I wrote it down too.
She's Asian, so she cooks.
I like
food.
Fried rice. You better cook like you an Asian bitch. Like what? 21.
Yeah.
Had some question marks beside that one. Shout out for Drake for this bar. Used to be in Saga at the Sega City Palladium. Skating through this album like a Montreal Canadian. Way that I ran shit, you think that I was Iranian. Crazy. Dude, the Iranian bar sucks. But...
Iran, like Iran.
That's every rapper.
Oh, dude,
has done that. Has at least thought about it.
She was waiting for
I think I wrote that down at one point. But shout out Palladium and Saga. That's where all the pop and birthday parties were at our school. Do you ever go to birthday parties at Palladium? That was like the spot.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't remember any of them, but I'm pretty sure.
I remember I had one of the whole class.
Were you outside for Palladium?
I was outside for Palladium.
I hopped off the porch.
Yeah.
And just went.
Hop off the porch to Palladium.
Yeah, 11 years old. I hopped off the porch, walked straight to Palladium.
Me and the Gangnam
celebrated my fucking birthday with the bread and them. Yeah. No, we weren't good enough for that. We went to
our schools in Mississauga. We went to
Roseland Bowl.
That was the facts. R.I.P. Roseland Bowl.
Yeah, tried to break in there, but it led to a
little adventure for us that we legally can't talk about.
Yeah,
technically. More M's good track. 3M on Glenwood is weird because you expect a Drake track because the timestamp and place is always a Drake thing.
I know.
People are so
Drake
hyped
needs
for that.
To go to bed earlier. Like all this on 6 a.m. and whatever. Like 8 in the morning.
Maybe he's an early riser. You know, I don't know. But it's weird that it's a 21 solo track and it's over like a kind of a Drake sounding beat, and it just doesn't really suit 21 all that well. And it's the only like 21 solo song on this shit, and it's kind of a little bit disappointing for me.
And then the last one is called I Guess It's Fuck Me.
I fuck with the Drake. I fuck with this one. I fuck with the singing and kind of spacier kind of vibe. I think it's a good singing performance, but again, it could have overall the album, like if 21 Savage had maybe more say in it, I think it would have been better, because a lot of the songs are kind of solo Drake, or he has like barely a part in it, or are more over Drake kind of sound in production. And like pretty much all of my highlights on here are ones where 21 Savage takes the stage, or his production is more prevalent and shit. So
yeah,
I think if it was more of a true collab album in that sense, then I think I would have enjoyed it more. But I think it's a little bit too Drake for me still to really consider it being like top albums of the year. It's not bad. Again, it's probably one of his better ones he's put out in a while. But overall, I'm really only coming out with like 6 or 7 songs that I really fuck with on here.
I would probably have even less songs that I liked off of it, but. Yeah, there's just not that much going on under the surface with Drake.
Yeah, I wanted to like him more than I did.
It's like he's not really trying that hard, in my opinion. But
I mean, I think his rapping was like much better than like CLB and Scorpion, and like just rapping pure, like rapping wise, like flow wise, like he's in, sounds like he's a little bit hungrier, and 21 Savage like took the best out of him, or like like made him try harder, but still not good enough. Drake, try even harder.
No,
punk bitch.
Lacking. But like there are good parts of it, but overall, you if you're trying to really review the album, like they don't actually do a very good job of
putting together,
bringing the styles together, giving them both
spotlight to shine. It seemed like more of a Drake album, heavily featuring 21 Savage. So. And
all the promo stuff just feels like kind of a shit post to me, like getting your attention for 5 seconds just at the like.
I fuck with the shit post, but again, I'm not really going to go back to any of the performances really.
And I hope that Vogue sues them for all they fucking have.
Only Drake though. 21's cool. Fuck with him.
No, his next solo thing is probably going to be good. 21 Savage has been having a quietly great year.
Yeah, great feature run.
That's another thing that I've been slowly starting to compile a little list of best
features.
Just like we should have like a Rapper of the Year award that kind of goes to like. They had a good project year and lots of good features, and they were just around and like.
Yeah, I'm cool with that.
And that could be like an interesting category.
Yeah. We got some cool stuff planned for the end of the year stuff, so make sure to stick around for that as well.
3-hour podcast.
We're gonna do it smart though now, where we split it into 2 episodes.
We're gonna try to split it into 2, make it a little bit easier for all of us.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're gonna take a little intermission here. Come back with a little bit of a game that you might be familiar with. So.
It'll be
it'll happen like right now, but I mean, I have to do some stuff first. So, yes,
chop.
Okay, got a little bit of a game here. Rap Snacks Challenge version 2. We did one. I don't know how long ago was that. Earlier this year, maybe
months ago.
It was kind of a mess. We didn't really plan it out. So this one we took a little bit more time. And you'll see here, I'll put an image up on the screen. It's going to be Alex versus Josh here. I know the flavors, I organized it. And I have 3 different rap snacks available for them to taste test. And they have to guess which rapper each snack is and what the flavor is. And there's 6 rappers available here. There's Lil Durk, A$AP Ferg, Snoop Dogg, Moneybagg Yo, Yo Gotti, and 5EO Foreign, as it falls over immediately. And you get a correct point for each rapper you get and which flavor you get, and one of them has a special saying with it. So if you guess, you won't guess the saying. You just won't guess it. So
what's the prize?
You automatically.
I get to take this vinyl home with me.
Sure, yeah, go ahead.
You don't have a vinyl player.
And you can have a vinyl too if you text me at.
Okay, hold on.
Beep.
Okay, so I'll bring out the first one, and let me just.
All right.
Make sure.
I am getting hungry. I don't know about y'all's.
I'm very tired.
But yeah, if you guys want to eat some chips at home while you're listening to this.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great.
To drown out the sound of us chewing, which, I know is probably annoying.
Eat from my hands.
No.
Whoa.
Not when you say it like that.
Alright, go ahead.
Okay.
Josh gets the first chew. I'm also hungry. I'm going to taste it as well.
Okay. Was this lemon pepper freestyle?
No, it's not. It's none that we've done before.
Oh, right. I'm pretty sure that was the Rick Ross one that we did last time, right?
We did Rick Ross before. We did Cardi B before, and we did Roddy Rich or something? Migos? Yeah, we did Migos.
Right, the Migos was like the sour cream and onion type thing. Yeah. All right.
And more
This
taste?
is,
Which rapper, what flavor?
I know it. It's literally on the tip of my tongue.
So that tasted kind of like cheesy, barbecue-y, kind of. So, definitely not Snoop Dogg, because that would taste like weed, and I know that taste.
We'll give Alex first guess, and then next time we'll give Josh first guess, I guess.
Yeah, because, you know, I'm me. Yeah, I'm gonna say ASAP Ferg.
To go against the grain, I would say Lil Durk.
0 points. Zeros across the board.
Okay.
Not either of them. It is, in fact, Snoop Dogg.
Fuck me.
It was Snoop Dogg. He immediately said it wasn't. It was. Alright, there's still a chance to get a point for a flavor, though.
For some reason, the first thing that came to mind is like pickle.
You're going with pickle flavor?
Like dill pickle type shit. I don't know.
Okay, well, you're
Yeah,
definitely
he's going
wrong. You're
dill
definitely
pickle.
way fucking wrong with that one.
Alex?
I'm just going off instinct.
Used to be fat guy? What's your guess?
As a former fat guy, a current still pretty out of shape person, I'm gonna say cheese and grits.
I'll give you a point because you said it earlier. It was cheesy barbecue.
Yeah,
It was
okay.
OG barbecue cheese.
That's what cheese and grits is anyway. If you were from the hood like me, you would know that. But.
All right, 1 point for Alex. Oh God, this is gonna keep happening, by the way.
Oh my God.
Okay, Snoop Dogg's off the thing. You know it's not Snoop Dogg. Okay. I'm gonna leave them here. We can snack on him.
Pretty good job, Snoop.
Yep.
But how exactly is he a cheesy barbecue kind of?
I don't know. I don't know. All right, this one has a fun name. Has like a catchphrase, but there's a name. There's like a flavor. Is like the actual. It's not that. There's two names. Like I'm not gonna have you guess the fucking whatever name. Just guess the flavor and the rapper.
Oh, I'm gonna guess the catchphrase.
Okay.
Once I know the flavor and the rapper. Okay, so these are Ruffles for those at home. Let's make a really loud crunch for the audio.
Oh no! I gotta hear that. Ah.
Oh, good.
Okay. It's a little sour cream and onion, but there's something else thrown in there to throw me off.
Gimme.
A little bit of an strange aftertaste.
Something in onion. Oh, I feel like I know this taste. It's like a little smoky.
Rapper flavor. Josh, I'll give you first dibs at rapper.
504 him.
It's Moneybag Yo for sure.
Both also incorrect.
Fuck!
This is Little Durk.
Oh god damn it! I should
You guessed Little Durk last time.
Damn it.
So both 0 and 2 for guessing the rappers. You only got one more chance. All right, flavor. Whoever gets closer, you don't have to necessarily guess the exact one.
The flavor is I'm gonna say it's like garlic and sour cream or something like that.
Okay, Josh.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Shit. Fuck it, salt and vinegar. I don't know.
It's buttermilk ranch.
Buttermilk.
I don't really taste the butter. I taste the ranch. I don't taste like the buttermilk really.
That's what it is. Ranch. Yeah.
It does taste ranchy though.
So what is that? 0 points
That's
awarded?
0. If you get the catchphrase.
Okay. So it's Lil Durk.
Yeah.
O Block. How about a block of cheese?
It's OE Wavy.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Right, Wavy, because it's
Wavy guy. All right, last one. So far, Alex is up by only 1 point.
All right, riveting game.
We should do it with like 6 next time, just to really make sure.
This is the most walking you've done in a week.
Oh man, I'm getting my steps up today. Last one. All right.
I'm thinking ASAP Ferg is not big enough to have chips named after him anymore. Wow, this is fucking good. I like this.
Here's what I'll do as well. I'll take off one off the list just to make it a little bit easier.
Okay, it's not Yo Gotti.
Yo Gotti does not have the flavor.
Okay, making it more interesting.
I haven't actually tasted it.
This is
interesting.
Pretty intense.
Very flavorful.
I almost want to say it's like some lemon pepper type shit.
Knowing the flavor, it makes sense what this is.
Okay, I know what it is. I know what the flavor is, but not the rapper.
Who did I give Rapper to last time, Josh?
Yeah.
Or Alex? Rapper.
It's 5 Foreign.
Incorrect.
Fuck!
It's Moneybag Yo.
Yes.
Let's go. I'm on the board.
One. Very hard to read.
Okay, but can I guess the flavor?
Yes.
It's dill pickle jalapeno.
That's exactly right.
Woo!
I'm not even going to give you a chance there. Alex wins. I chalk it up to him being fat in his old life.
Yes.
There you go, Rapcast
Talia, baby.
version 2. Hope you enjoyed. Let us know if you want to see more or what we should do differently. We're going to snack on these the rest of the pod, so just be aware of that.
Yes.
So back to your regularly scheduled programming. They got some flavor to that one. That dill pickle jalapeno? Yeah.
There's some kick there.
As soon as you fucking know what it is, it's like, yeah, makes 100% sense.
And it makes perfect sense for Moneybag Yo.
He's a pickly kind of guy.
That is perched precariously, and I'm not okay.
That's how it always is, baby.
I'm not okay with it.
All right.
Now that I'm actually looking at it.
I think
this whole world is perched
the
precariously.
little dark ones are the worst. This is a weird aftertaste in my mouth.
Yeah.
I like these ones. I like
well,
the Snoop Dogg ones.
They are the waviest ones, though.
It's true.
You have to admit that.
Wavy.
Oh, wavy. Does he say oh we? I don't really listen to.
We.
I
don't know.
I thought you were saying wavy. Like
we wavy. Yeah, maybe.
Oh, we wavy. Jerry. Oh, we wavy.
I almost want to do the whole Seinfeld millennial joke, but it's like you've heard it all.
We've done it. We've done it.
Jerry, that's bussin'. No cap. Yeah.
Kramer, he says I'm capping. Yeah. Well, I'm capping, Jerry.
There's no bus. There's no bus. There is without bus.
I'm without bus. Yeah. We should buy a Rapcast bus and just like
travel
across the country.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Picking up rappers as we go until we have a bunch of like misfits from across the country.
We do a whole tournament at the end.
Doing Steinfeld references the entire time.
And we just crown ourselves the best rapper in Canada at the very end of it, even if there's much better rappers.
The ranking system will all be based on who makes the best Seinfeld references. Yeah. It's like some really good rappers that are just last place because they didn't mention Seinfeld.
Yeah. Okay, we've got some new music to do. We're about an hour into the pod. So let's do it. Where do you want to start? Bunch of new music. Strap yourselves in.
I kind of want to give us a review of Westside Gunn.
Do it.
Pretty hilarious that this came out in the midst of the whole anti-Semitism scandal.
Last minute, he changed the title to just 10, which that's pretty funny.
Which is like one of the supreme ironies is that like this underground rapper who is really famous amongst people like us has 10 albums that are called that are named after Hitler.
Yeah.
And if he was like mainstream and they caught a whiff of that he could have been but
perhaps
people don't really even know about Westside Gunn that much unless they're hip hop heads like us, whereas everybody knows Kanye West. But
how does it compare to 9? Because that was like your album of the year 2 years ago, right? Side B, I believe.
Yeah, it's not as exhaustive of an album. It's more of a showcase of his style with a bunch of like pretty high profile collabs on this one.
For sure.
It's generally just a classic. Like he does his signature Westside Gunn thing, and on a couple of songs it's like a little bit boring, or it's just like it's very his own style. That sometimes it's like the song God Is Love, for example, is like It's almost too Griselda almost. Like it's like this sample of like someone saying God is love, like in like an old, really old song.
Yeah.
And just people spitting the most ridiculous bars over it. And
it's almost a sensory overload.
Just doing the do and like just
too much going on.
I'm just saying that like it's very Westside Gunn, and like if you're already a fan, then you're just gonna like it. But there's a couple of like more standout tracks on it.
Yeah, I listened to not all of it, but maybe half of it. I really liked Shootouts in Soho with A$AP Rocky. Great performance by him, and
really like vibey, like and he fits on great with these other rappers from.
Yeah, I didn't know what I was expecting, but I'm like, now that I heard it, I'm like, oh, now I want to hear him with all the other Griselda members. He fits really. I guess they're all from New York, so it makes sense, but New York State, that is. But yeah, that'd be sick if he gets more in the underground kind of shit like that.
These Westside Gunn albums are a great thoroughfare for like other sides of the rap game. Like
because last time like Jay Electronica was on it, and like Tyler and Wayne and shit. So like getting
this new one has
too on it was
has Busta Rhymes and Raekwon and Run the Jewels has a song on it as well.
Yeah, I like that one too. Switches on everything. It's weird that Westside doesn't have a verse on it. He does. I think it just does the chorus, right?
Yeah, he just does a very Westside Gunn style.
Switches on everything.
Yeah.
I think LP kills it.
I did not like Killer Mike's verse.
Yeah,
I'm starting to really
not the greatest.
Grow tired of Killer Mike. I don't know why. I just think LP's stuff is so much more creative, funny, interesting, and Killer Mike just says stuff I've heard this before.
Yeah, he's getting I will say I liked his verse a lot more on that the Black Thought album that came out. Cheat Codes came out earlier this year. They had a verse. They were also with Rocky, actually.
I heard that one. That's a good song.
It was a really good song. I enjoyed Killer Mike's verse, but yeah, like I think his LP has pretty much stayed consistent, if not gotten better throughout, and Killer Mike has gotten maybe a little bit just more boring. Like Run the Jewels 2 was probably peak Killer Mike to me,
right?
And then it's getting a little bit more tiring throughout. But I don't think it was like a bad verse, but not. No,
but I think he got outshined by some like the other members on that song.
I like the Peppa's song with Black Star, which is a Talib Kweli.
Yeah, like the beats on this are super great. Like
that other one, the Mac was something like the Mac Can't Change Me or some shit like that.
Mac Don't Stop.
Mac Don't Stop.
That was a vibe.
The beat is crazy. Like the little like, glitch kind of like almost video gamey kind of sounding inflections that are in there was really interesting, and he did really well in it, I think.
There's like certain like things that are just like staples of Westside Gunn albums are like like having the intro by this A.A. Rashid guy who always gives these like dissertations where he's like talking about like the Enlightenment reaches the Renaissance
some fucking
and
Bible
like he's just ranting.
Televangelist type beat.
He always has a little feature from Westside Pootie, which is like just his daughter, who's just like, "Hey, by the way, I'm in fourth grade now, and you guys are still broke."
Yeah,
like,
that was funny. I like that. On that one song we listened to.
Yeah, Nigo Lewis is a good like. I really love the instrumental on that one and how it like breaks down near the end and gets really fucking dreamlike and like there's like all these like really special moments like as far as the instrumental is concerned on Westside Gunn albums. And there's certain things that show up.
He probably has the most diverse production range in terms of being able to fit on like more interesting beats, maybe. Than
and it's almost like his slow, like drawn out, sadder songs are almost better in my view, like the Westside Gunn ones at least.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe just because I'm such a fan though that I'm so used to it. BPD is a good one with Rome Streets and Stove God.
Stove God's all over this thing too. He has multiple features.
Verses. They have a very funny part where it like switches into this is how we do.
Oh really?
This is how we do. Like they just cut to that like the first part of that song and then just jump back in like as a sort of little punchline there. Science Class is a super good like smooth old school track where like the sample is just like we used to be good friends a long time ago, and then like everybody's verse kind of like plays around with that idea of like used to being friends with somebody. And, like, you know, like So it's a very kind of grown-up track that like brought together like old school rappers from the 90s with Stove God and Westside Gunn and these new guys. Really exciting stuff. Red Death is like the last track. It's like a 10-minute long track.
Oh, Jesus. Oh, it's like a big posse car, right?
With the whole posse, the main Griselda people, like a bunch of random other people give verses. And it's just like... It's like one of those kind of horror, like King Crimson type, like 70s rock inspired tracks that is just like, it just keeps going. Like it's 10 minutes long and it just keeps going. Yeah. And there's this like very raucous kind of a chorus that comes on where the guy's just like screaming.
Sick.
That's what gives me the King Crimson vibe. Yeah. It makes me think of that King Crimson album cover where it's the guy like
Core of the Crimson King.
Yeah. And that's part of what's great about Westside Gunn is like he takes like artistic inspiration from like lots of different little spots and stuff like that. So I don't usually have anything negative to say about his albums other than just that like
some songs don't hit as hard.
His lyrics don't hit with me that far until like I've really listened to it like for months and months, just because his style is so off the wall. But I think that it will continue to be in my rotation for a while. And it's probably better, like more entertaining than his previous album from this year, Fly God.
Oh right, yeah.
Whatever, which came out like just like a few months ago. So crazy work ethic.
Delivery is always nuts in the Griselda camp. That's for sure. Anyway,
let's move on to Baby Keem.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't know if any of us expected this. Baby Keem Deluxe, about a year after Melodic Blue came out. I think it's like, 10 new songs? 9? 8? Something like that.
It's almost like a whole AP, like...
Yeah, but it's also, like, it makes sense because a lot of the songs, like, have the same kind of sound as Melodic Blue had. Like, some of the more emotional ones have, like, those kind of 808 and Heartbreaks drums that I'm sure, like, was probably made around the same time.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure some of them are, like, newer ones that he made, like, while on tour or whatever, right, with Kendrick. I have a few highlights, but some of the other ones, like, just don't really... I could have probably gone without. Like, the one with Don Toliver, Kill Streaks, is just not... doesn't really do it for me. Like, Baby Keem's part was okay, but...
I would say, like, it's as good... It's, like, as consistent as the Melodic Blue as far as quality, like...
I don't know, I just don't like it as... Like, Life of Pain is great, Bank Account is great, but those are the only two that I'm like, these are, like, fantastic, and I wish they were on the OG album. Patience Interlude is cool, it's vibey, it's catchy, it's moody, but it's not that long, it doesn't really
for me, the slow songs don't do it as much.
Yeah.
But I liked Kill Streaks. Definitely had the 808s and Heartbreaks Kanye drums on there.
The chorus is a bit repetitive too. I like what Baby Keem did on it, but Don Toliver was like, I feel like was barely on there. Pink Panther's part was okay, but I'm not really too familiar with her shit.
Life of Pain captures the kind of evil video game.
Yeah, it's super fire. And that coming out right on like Halloween was dope.
It has the Halloween sound effects and everything.
And piano was nuts.
But like, he's definitely on the same level of like, part of like Keem's appeal is his weirdness.
Yeah.
And the fact that he's like he still delivers verses and songs that you want to dance to and stuff, but like, there's just something so odd,
his voice combined with the lyrics and his delivery is just so kind of strange.
But like, that's almost like a new thing in hip hop now, where it's like, just to set yourself apart, be weird enough that like people remember your style and that you're different, like to separate you from the rest of the crowd.
He was saying how he was I was doing my weird little dances on stage and it wasn't strange or whatever, like how it's like some people might think his dances are strange, but like he was doing them with Tour on Kendrick, and people loved it, and he did a great job when we saw him for sure.
And just the weird things he says too, like like my buddy Brad was asking me about like the lyric where he's like, I don't like to hang out with people that piss on graves or whatever. I only hang out with people that's potty trained.
Yeah. I was gonna ask, do you think that's a Travis Scott or Kanye kind of diss almost?
I was thinking, but I think it's more just literal.
But he's worked with both, right?
Literally, like some rappers like dissing their dead ops so much that it gets to the point where it's a little bit ridiculous, and it's like,
I think because he worked with both of them so recently, I didn't think that was anything to really look into.
No, yeah, but they did have a song called "Piss on Your Grave."
Yeah.
But this was before people actually like took it to that level.
Yeah.
In these beefs, these like online
for sure.
beefs and stuff.
Feels like it's definitely escalated the past little bit. I like his bar on Life of Pain as well. She caught me cheating on the gram. I said that I was framed. I'm like, how are you going to frame? How was that framed, Keem? Make me understand that.
Keem has girl problems.
He does. Yeah. That's one thing for sure.
But I liked him letting out those frustrations kind of on the naked freestyle.
Yeah, interesting beat. It sounded like kind of like an old school. Fuck that come from? Like an old school, like kind of Atari almost kind of sample. Like I can't quite pinpoint it, but I feel like I've heard it before. Maybe I don't know.
There's good energy on that.
Yeah,
track.
Cool flow, cool energy. I like the first song on it, or one of the first ones, No Sense. I thought that was pretty fire. It fits well with the album as well.
Makes no sense.
Dog, I'm trying to ride the wave. It's pretty catchy. Highway 95, I just have cool. I know it's cool, but I know it doesn't really. A little short, I think. Doesn't quite do it for me.
Okay, if we're comparing the two songs from this episode that have very obvious samples, Highway 95 with the. Did you get that one? The Fugees strumming my pain.
No, I don't know. I'm not familiar with much.
Killing Them Softly.
Shit.
You don't know that song?
No, I don't think so. Maybe if I heard it, but
well,
heard
it happened to sample like one of my favorite parts of the song, where she just goes la 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 la. Oh, it's like one of the best parts. I kind of like really obvious samples, though. That's because
it makes you feel smart. Because like I get it, even though it's like
maybe I just like mentioning it on this podcast.
Yeah, perhaps.
But I thought it was clever, like a nice little throwback there.
And Fine China is cool as well, catchy flows, but
with some of those other ones, there's decent fragments in those songs.
Yeah, but overall, I can kind of understand why they might not have been on the album, right? Like, I'm glad that we got them, but like, it's you know,
it makes sense as a
doesn't
deluxe,
make the album any better, right?
Because you don't want to take those little ideas and like try to graft a whole
make
new
a whole
thing
EP,
to it.
especially if some of the songs sonically sound so similar to Melodic Blue. It would be like, well, he isn't doing anything new here, right? It might be kind of considered a miss.
And is he like still on this tour with Kendrick?
I think they're in Europe now. Yeah,
yeah,
it's crazy. It's like a year-long fucking tour. It's crazy.
Well, that's what's crazy about
not a year, but like 6,
doing the
7 months.
Melodic Blue. Then he's on the road, and like as much as we want a new Keem album, it's good. Like
probably take.
He has to get off of his tour.
Yeah, wouldn't be surprised. Like we got a deluxe here. Wouldn't be surprised about maybe like a EP or mixtape next, maybe kind of mid next year. Then a new album.
Yeah.
After that.
We have to talk about...
come on.
This is, I think, a weirdo banger of the year.
Yeah, this is hard as fuck. Probably the best Uzi performance in like a long while. They great chemistry together.
So, Lil Uzi... You press play and Lil Uzi Vert starts saying, violate that bitch.
Yeah.
I don't know if we should be violating them, but you know...
Yeah,
whatever.
maybe not that crazy.
This is the energy of the song.
He's talking about turning her around and fucking her in the anus, so...
Yeah.
Something's going on here, for sure.
Only Lil Uzi Vert can say that, and then also have tweets where he's like, I haven't had sex in 3 years.
Yeah, I can see that.
He's a little weirdo. A funny guy. Honestly, he might be having a real feature run this year. Like, he's kind of on every album.
I really liked him on the new Fouché album, which I'll quickly talk about later. But
and he was on Smino's album too.
Yeah, I thought that was a good feature as well. But yeah, and the whole like yeah. I was playing that with Josh when I was driving him to Hamilton, and he was like, "What the fuck is this shit?" And I'm like, "This is fucking hard, man." It's so it's flames. It's so stupid, but I love it.
It's so stupid, but I get why people like it. It's like it's just low effort type shit, and you know, if like the people it's probably fucking hilarious with people in the studio. It's just like, what the fuck is he doing?
Or in the crowd and shit. Like it's fire.
Yeah. It's one of those songs where it's like. It's almost kind of lame to picture like millennial kids being like, "Oh, like this kind of sucks," but like let's do like all of our crazy dances to it to like show everybody that it's like, it's sort of a big fuck you or whatever. But like, I think it's actually genuinely a good song.
No, me too.
Like,
as a piece of music individually from everything, but I think it's good. One of the highlights on here for sure.
But I couldn't like I'm not dropping that one at the.
Don't put it though on the work playlist.
No. That would be that's one of those ones you have to like. you have to be flossing super hard and like doing the dances and everything.
You got to be already
so people get the ironic humor.
A few drinks deep with your homies already before you put that one out. Into the atmosphere.
But that's definitely one for the homies.
Yeah,
and by that I mean unsuccessful men in their mid-20s.
Moving on from there, let's keep going with the albums. We'll do all the singles at the end, I'd say.
That's it for my notes.
Okay, yeah, that's all my notes as well. But I'll talk about the Wiki album. It's called Cold Cuts with Subject 5 as a producer. I wasn't really familiar with. In terms of, I've only heard the 2 Wiki albums. This one and Half God from last year, which was my top 3, my third favorite album of the year. So comparing the 2, I don't think it's not as good as Half God. That one's much. I mean, it's also all produced by Navy Blue. But that one it's just sonically, I think I enjoy it more, and it's more concise, and it flows better as an album, and he has a bunch of different topics, and better features, I think, as well. I think this one almost seems more of a mixtape to me, as he's trying a bunch of new ideas. There's some songs on here that he's like going off on like drill beats, which is pretty interesting, like, for him. I don't think he's kind of done that kind of sound before. But it's just New York sound, so I appreciate it. It's probably more like bangers on here, quote unquote, but I just don't think he does the bangers quite as well as some of the more introspective kind of storytelling tracks. I will say the features kind of disappointed me for the most part. There were a few that I did enjoy, but there's one guy that I'm like, I just didn't really like at all, and he was on like 2 or 3 songs.
I listened to this album one time.
Yes.
And I enjoyed it.
No, I still think it's like a good album, and there's some really good songs on here.
He's a great rapper.
Yeah.
But yeah,
this Papu 204. I don't know how to fucking say this guy's name.
Papo 2004.
2004. Oh, 2000. That makes more sense. I just don't really like his.
I actually really liked his.
I liked
He was on 2 of them, but the first song he was on, I actually thought it was pretty great. But then, the later one.
I liked the later one better than the first one.
Okay.
I just think they couldn't really find the flow on that one, really, but I guess it's kind of the vibe they were going with. I think it's a banger, like, it's a great beat. And it kind of starts off a little slow, honestly. Jersey Sub and My Life are kind of 2 long-winded songs where the production isn't very varied. But then from there, 3 Train to Mecca is great, Come Home, Butter Leather, Thawns.
The one thing I found listening to this album is that, like, instrumentally, I didn't like it as much.
Yeah.
There were a little bit, like, these 2 kind of, like... These beats that were too, like, chaotic for me.
Yeah.
You know, like, it's hard for me to find a
really
groove.
grasp. Yeah, exactly. And I appreciate him, like, trying stuff, and it's definitely a more varied project. You might find more that you like on here. You know, it doesn't stick with kind of the one sound like Half God did. But I like Half God's sound a lot more than this one, I'd say. It's still probably like a 7 out of 10 for me. Silent Meeting is a great one. That
I thought that was a funny track, because it was like... The guy he's rapping with is like kind of like this like hipster guy.
Yeah, but his voice is pretty unique, and he's pretty hard. But he's kind of rapping about some lame shit almost. It's like
But it's like some guy who became friends with Wiki at some point in his life, and like they just decided to make this track. And
I like Ricky with YL a lot as well. Great feature there. And One More Chance with Navy Blue is great. The sample, that's like the kind of classic. That's the kind of Wiki that I want to hear more of.
Navy Blue is kind of the creative brainchild to around some of this, like slums era stuff.
Exactly, yeah. This album I wouldn't say is really slum sounding as much as Half God is. So maybe that's why I don't quite enjoy it much. But I've only listened to it maybe 3 times, so I'm still kind of getting to know it, and maybe it'll grow on me a little bit. But overall, pretty solid project from Wiki. Doesn't quite compare to his last one, but c'est la vie.
I also listened to Smino off kind of a whim.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about the 90 Proof song and how much we liked it, and how I was considering giving it a listen. And the tracklist came out with, like, Lucky Day was on it, and Uzi and Dochi. I'm like, okay, I'm going to listen to this tape. And at first, I'm like, this is pretty good, but I don't know if it's going to, like, stick with me. But the more I've heard it a bunch more since, and I'm like, this is really, I really enjoy it. I think
I love it.
A really cool sound. He nails the aesthetic he's going for. It's pretty unique. His voice obviously is really unique. Not every song goes, but like the ones that go, I'm like, this is great. Like, I think he really has something here.
Ol' Ass Kendrick and Blue Billy were 2 of my favorites.
Blue Billy's fantastic. Kind of melodic, kind of love sappy song, but just talking about, like, he knows all these people that are killers and hitters and bitches, and he's just like, I know a lot of these people that are doing dirt shit, but it sounds beautiful. So I'll take
I thought
it.
Old Ass Kendrick was a cool one because it's kind of like a trip down memory lane thing a little bit. But he's also just talking about how he's, his game with women and stuff like that.
I love the Noel song is great. The Friday Night kind of sounds like an Earth Gang song to me. I kind of got it. At first, I'm like, this is Earth Gang? Like,
there was one song where I was like, I swear this is Earth Gang.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're actually on it.
No.
But
Mind Proof with Cole.
They're in the same Dreamville.
Well, Smino's not. I don't think Smino's Dreamville.
Is he?
No, I think he was just on the shit a lot.
Okay, well, he's just around.
He's definitely around the camp, though.
Around that scene, for sure. But
Pro Freak with Dochi I thought was really good. It's kind of like a dance, more of a dancey kind of track, but
booty girl
Dochi had a great verse. I think she went off on that.
So that's an artist that I'm supposed to get into now?
Well, she's on TDE, new signee, and the EP she put out this year was pretty great. The Swamp Bitches with Rico Nasty is at least a listen.
Putting that one on my list for sure.
Nice and sweet.
But like even some of the more like experimental ones, like there are definitely some really great ideas on like even a song called Euphoria.
Yeah, that one I didn't like as much, but it's grown on me a lot since.
It was a bit of a challenge to get through the first time, just because like Smino has like a specific vocal character to his
if you're not into it might be a little bit difficult to fully get into it or grasp it or
it's kind of a thick accent that he has.
I'm still kind of I haven't gone through the album like with Genius sitting in front of me, so lyrically I don't really have much to say about it, just because it's kind of hard to understand his drawl
based
sometimes.
Off vibes alone, vibes
alone, it's a great listen. I enjoy it.
I like it more than Her Loss.
Yes, me too. More Than a Minute with Lucky Day is great. Settle Down. Pudgy with Lil Uzi Vert. I think Lil Uzi Vert did a really good job to kind of fit into that sound. I was curious to how that was going to sound, but I think it went
how do you go from Violate That Bitch to like...
and then the last Curtains and Lee and Lovey is a great kind of like love song to finish it up. Great singing performance by Smino. Considering going to the JID Smino show, so that's what I'll say. If there's still tickets available, I fucking doubt it honestly, but we'll see. Good job Smino. Nailed the vibe. Kind of gives me a little bit almost like Frank Ocean vibes, if you want to give it a listen. Like I was getting like some Blonde vibes. Maybe.
I was getting Kendrick.
Yeah, Kendrick for sure. There's a lot of acoustic guitars and stuff, and like some summery sounding shit, but also kind of it being sad. Parts of it kind of reminded me of Frank Ocean.
It gave me the Kendrick vibe of like this music has real emotional depth to it.
Yeah.
Like this guy's not just talking about like, oh, I had sex for the first time. Here's my song about it. Like Jack Harlow or whatever the fuck, like. It's like this guy's lived a whole life.
No, there's a lot of emotion and passion that he put into this, and it's very well done, and it's a great cohesive body of work.
You can also tell that like he's had albums like this is probably his third or fourth album or some shit.
I'm not familiar with his discography.
I don't actually know, but like this is a seasoned artist.
But the general consensus that I've seen online is like this is his best work, like probably by far.
Yeah.
So like it's good to know that I'm not like wrong, and it's like I'm not just like new to him, and people are like, oh, this kind of sucks actually compared to his older shit. So I mean I still might go back and see what his older shit's like. But
I will.
But yeah, Smino, new fan. Good job. Anything else on Smino before we move on to?
Can we hate on Chance the Rapper for a sec?
All right.
I did not really like his new song.
Yano. I liked the beat and stuff, but like mixing wise, like you can't really hear it. His vocals very well. Like the beat's like loud. It's like in your face in a bad way, and it's like 6 minutes. It doesn't have to be that long. Chance has some like clever wordplay, but nothing really stand out. No memorable bars really. I appreciate the kind of more like the kind of he's going back to his roots, going back to Africa. Fucking, doing the whole show in Ghana, like you can kind of tell the African drums.
That was stuff I only really got from watching the video. But like, the song alone,
I've only watched the video. I haven't listened to the song like separately, so I can't really say what I think of it as that solo experience that way.
It was just it was a dance track that I didn't really like.
And a dance track being 6 minutes, no dance track has to be 6 minutes long. Like,
I'm sorry, Chance, but I know you're trying, but like I guess the highs and the lows was pretty good.
Yeah.
Out of all his new stuff,
I guess that would be the better one.
That was probably the best thing that we got so far out of these new ones.
Yeah, I don't know if he's catching a
big... The Heart and the Tongue was okay.
Is that one even on streaming, though? I don't know if that was like a official
I'm just saying,
single.
post the Big Day Chance songs.
What about Child of God?
That one's going
forgettable.
In the trash.
That one's forgettable.
Child of God! Dun, 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 dun.
I'm interested to see how the album will sound, and I'm curious. I'll listen to it for sure, but it's not looking the most promising. People are being like, "Oh, acid rap, it's back." In what way does it sound like acid rap, Old Chance? Like, this is not going to be Old Chance at all. It's going to be something new, different. Might be bad, might be good. Who knows? I don't want to put any fucking opinions on it before it's even out. So look out for the new Chance, probably the new year. Josh wanted to talk about this little diamond in the rough he's discovered.
Yeah.
Even though I knew him back when he was Milo. So
get over here, Josh, you cutie.
Shout out.
Cutie pie.
Shut up. Shout out to Kid Sid for putting me on to this guy. Originally Milo, who goes by other names. I heard his
Ferreira.
Yeah, Rap Ferreira. Milo's album, Who Told You to Think, is one of my favorite rap albums, I think.
Crazy.
And he put out an album as Rap Ferreira called 5 to the Eye with Stars. And it's like, legend has it, aka I read it on his Twitter, that he wanted to he was getting his grandfather's car, like, fixed up, built back up together. And he was going to take a road trip with his grandfather around in it. But he passed away before it could happen. So he sat in that car and wrote the album, if not the whole thing, then most of it.
Wow.
So it's definitely like, if you want to get a taste of what Rap Ferreira is about, this is probably a good one. It's only 20 minutes. All the songs are pretty short. It's like really jazzy, sort of off-kilter, kind of dreamy kind of beats. And his like love of just words and poetry definitely shines through. There's a lot of like $5 words, and it's like equal parts funny and kind of nerdy, and also like profound. Like, he's saying some shit, but also he is like goofing off quite a bit on this one. He's just having fun with it. Like, there's this one reference. He makes a reference to min-maxing, which is like a thing that, like, in D&D
video games, right?
Which, like, yeah, it's like a D&D RPG type thing, which is like a reference you would only get if you like knew kind of that world. What are some of my favorite lines of his off this new one? Like, yeah, the nerdiness kind of comes through in his song Fighting Back. Evil Wizard said, "Look around, you're the only one here, but I know better, and I know bedwetters who left puddles where the devil came looking for truffles and baubles, said MC smoke crack. It was only the soul folks who spoke back and said, well, actually, you could get slapped for such blasphemy." And it's just like, yeah, his just playing with words, and the funniness comes in Mythicizer Instinct, where stained white tees, Delilah delights me, Ronda Rousey tight beat, giant steps, tight leap, Samson on the Samsung cordless, rams, horses, damaged corset, and of course the language grew coarser. Like
Ronda Rousey type beat.
Yeah, Ronda Rousey type beat's crazy. Giants. He makes a reference to Giant Steps, which is infamous as the hardest jazz song to play of all time.
Damn.
Stained white tees, Hey There Delilah. Plain white tees.
The hardest song to play ever.
Yes.
Hey There Delilah.
It's impossible.
Hardest song to get through, maybe.
On Guitar Hero, you're like, fucking
Hey There Delilah. Fuck, power chords, what the fuck?
Wow.
Through the Fire and the Flames, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Yeah, Arc Doors is really funny, actually. The mind unravels, the sun time travels, totems and omens barking directions to Bolton's, holding my scrotum in a Cashville. In your head, if your head hurt, take an Advil.
Nice.
And at the end, he just says, I challenge any billionaire and I challenge any bootlicker to a game of horseshoes. A game of horseshoes! A game of horseshoes! It's just like, he's just having fun with it, and it's really funny.
A horseshoe game to end it all.
Yeah.
I'd watch that.
Yeah. And
season finale of the world.
So those are like all like pretty funny, and then pretty funny, pretty nerdy, and then he gets into like deeper shit the longer you go in, and I can't even pronounce how do you say that title? Lampios
Flow? I don't know.
Lampios Flow. He says, first fear was vanquished, first fortress was made of blankets, and somehow most protective as I got older, and I became more selective of building materials, breakfast cereals, more discerning at sunrise and sunset, also dusk, and I no longer collect the husks of former selves, warm as hell and the supposedly earth, huh? So it's like he's getting like really poetic, kind of profound on that shit. Like I no longer collect the husks of former selves. That shit's crazy.
So is this kind of all off of like live instrumentation, jazz kind of stuff?
It's like definitely like there's a lot of production of like like jazz samples and stuff like that. It's really, I would say like give it a listen. It's not live jazz. It's like sample jazz. Like somebody was digging through the dustbins for that one.
Well, yeah, that's just because that's the one song you were playing kind of gave me that vibe of like there's jazz sample beats where it's just a normal beat with a little flute thrown in there or something like that, which is sort of like on the basic level, but then on some of these newer, more progressive stuff from Alchemist and other like high level hip hop producers where they're like, it's a sample, but it almost sounds like it's just rapping along to live jazz instrumentation or whatever.
Yeah.
Which is like
explored lines about if it's actually
Denzel Curry we talked about last time, and like there's a lot of interesting jazz rap stuff going on right now, and like in the underground, which not necessarily might not pop into like I don't think it won't pop into the mainstream anytime soon or whatever.
I think this Rap Ferreira guy's been around for a while.
But it's influential for sure, and like
this guy shout out Blue Rivers, rapper from Mississauga, kind of tight with he very much. I think that's like he wears his influence on his sleeve in terms of being a Rap Ferreira guy. Like he always talks about him, and it's very similar kind of slam poetry style kind of rapping. But I've tried getting into him before, but I think it's just a little bit too off the wall sometimes, or just like maybe a little bit too poetry. I think he's more of a poet. Going on instrumentation rather than like a rapper who has like tight flows and stuff.
That is
right.
That is exactly.
It's more like I would see him. Like if I were to see him live, I'd want to snap after. I'm uncomfortable clapping. I don't think.
Yeah,
like, that's more of a.
Apparently
he was reading out of a notebook or something, right?
Yeah.
Like,
apparently he went. He like is like he definitely describes himself as a poet more so than a rapper.
Yeah, I think I see that.
Yeah, and apparently he did like he went on a tour of like doing blues music, playing blues music. And so he's definitely like an off the wall kind of guy, and I can see that it's how it won't be for everybody, but it's definitely for me.
I respect it, and I understand the value in it. I just don't know if I'm putting it on necessarily, but I haven't really dived too deep into it. So
it's interesting how there really is a difference, though. Like as much as like the people will say on this lower side of the discourse, like, oh yeah, but really, if you rappers, they're really just poets. But then
rap is just rap assisted poetry or rhythm assisted poetry.
There really is two different worlds, though.
Yeah, because 21 Savage isn't poetry. Like it's not. It's just not. Like
no, you take the beat away. You take the beat away, and it's like it's crap.
Yeah, you can't make fucking gun noises at a fucking poetry bar or anything.
But that's also not to denigrate either side of those things.
Exactly.
Sure. Yeah,
it's just different strokes for different folks, right? Like that's just whatever you're into.
So that was me.
And thanks for that little
contribution.
And I disappear back into the shadows. Thank you. Thank you for allowing me to spew my.
That's another interesting thing. Like in preparation for this year-end episode is starting to think like
it's looming on us.
That I want to include certain things in my top 10 that are like this is a specific world of music that I find interesting, but it's not necessarily like the prominent. Like this might not be on everybody's top 10 list.
Yeah.
And I want to keep a few spots for things like that.
For me, I think it's just such a tough year because like I'm looking at like my top 20 and I'm like, these are all like great 8 out of 10 at the very least albums. Like I'm just putting it back to the basics of like which one do I like more. I don't want to give any time to like shout out this one though, just because it's going to be tough for me to narrow it down. So I'm just going to have to get nitty gritty with it and just do it.
Usually what happens is that those couple will end up in the honorable mentions where it's like this is on some real different shit, but
it's good for different reasons. But it's we can have multiple honorable mentions this year if we feel we need to, because I might need to.
Anyway, any other shit we want to discuss before we get out of here?
For sure. Shout out Anderson .Paak and Knowledge. Their No Worries duo is back with a song with her. I think it's pretty smooth. pretty good. Nothing too like crazy.
That song has been on the Google Doc for so long, and
Yeah.
I've listened to it a couple times, but just nothing gets through.
Yeah, I listened to it like maybe 2 or 3 times. It's like it's good, but it's just not. Doesn't really stick with me as much. I'm still excited for the album.
It's everything you want from Anderson .Paak and her, but
yeah,
it just didn't jump out to me really.
I'll talk about the Snoop Dogg DJ Drama mixtape quick. Not very good. I think Back on Death Row earlier, the Snoop Dogg album that came out earlier this year is much better. There are like maybe 2 or 3 songs that are like highlights, but just. I don't know, I was looking forward to it because I'm like, okay, it's DJ Drama, so that's a plus, and I like Snoop Dogg's sound, obviously, and the G-Funk kind of influence shit, and I'm interested to see who's going to get us features, because DJ Drama has a lot of pull, obviously, he's worked with a lot of rappers, but you got features from, like, his Def Jam people that don't really do much. You got, like, a Trinidad James feature, which was actually, like, okay, but it's just, like, I was hoping, because, like, Back on Death Row, if you take the best songs on that's like a good 9-10 song album. That's like really good. So I was hoping like, oh, maybe more concise, focused Snoop Dogg project could be really good in 2022, but it didn't really do anything for me. Kind of weak.
What did DJ Drama yell over?
He was always talking about how like the most famous rapper of all time, like
this
not
guy's
the best.
got game shows bigger than.
Well, I wish that'd be fucking great. No, he kept being like, yeah, like he's like he didn't say it, but it was like kind of the whole like he's not the best, but he's like the most popular rapper in the whole world, right?
Which rapper out knows Martha Stewart on a first name basis?
Yeah. Yeah. Overall, it's not really gonna stick with me much, but
yeah, I have not listened to it.
Yeah,
not really that big of a Snoop Dogg fan.
Fair.
I listened to the Pharrell Travis Scott song one time.
Me too. And I took it off my phone.
Not very good.
Travis is... People are looking forward to the Utopia, I guess, but I don't know. He's been kind of weak for a while now.
I'm saying sell your Travis Scott shares right now.
Yeah.
Because I'm predicting that this Utopia, when it finally comes out, it's going to suck.
I think it's going to be commercially successful, and there's going to be hits, and there's going to be like 1 or 2 songs that are like big and like good. But I think overall, I think we probably...
Critically, I don't think it's going to...
I think we've seen the best of Travis Scott that we might get. Already, with Birds and Astro World and shit. And Pharrell beat is kind of also like not great either, kind of weird in not the best way.
There was also a new Ye feature on a song by Sean Leon.
I did not. I heard it was bad.
Burn Everything.
Yeah. Interesting.
We don't need to review it. It's just funny. It's
for sure.
Like that's just like
that sounds about accurate.
Yep.
Ye's gonna yay,
yes,
and we're gonna continue potting. Do Better. Can we talk about that?
Yeah, man. Ab-Soul, new album called Herbert, which is his first name. Probably one of the funnier first names of rapper that might exist.
This one is coming on like mid-December, so it's like I don't think
it's not trying to be.
Is it going to be on my That's going to be in that like in between our year-end list.
I might have to. Yeah, I might have to just respectfully not include it, even if it is great. Just in terms, I don't know how far I'll be in my list, obviously, but
yeah. Point is, we've been waiting for like a long ass
6 years for the Ab-Soul project. A lot has happened since then. Mac Miller has passed, and he pretty much all of his music was worked on with him. To an extent, and his best friend Doughburger, who passed away earlier this year. So he's been going through it, and
you can tell by this song, music.
Do Better. The video of it is him kind of like contemplating suicide, jumping off this roof and stuff, and considering everything in his life and stuff, and very introspective. He's rapping though. It's Ab-Soul is not. It's not impossible that he might have a corny bar here and there, as we've seen on Smoke Again by Chance the Rapper, and he can have the astrology like type shit. He can be a little bit lyrical sometimes, but that's not the case on this Do Better song.
No, but he has it in him to like really make it great.
Yeah, and it's very powerful. The beat's great. He had a great bar where he was like listening to Faces, "This shit's fucking me up," and he has a reference to. I have a war with drugs, but they're sure to get me, kind of shit. A bar that Mac infamously spit on Faces.
Doing drugs was just a war with boredom, but they're sure to get me. Yeah, which is a great for the Mac fans out there. Like
great little shout out. And It hits even deeper knowing that I think maybe earlier this year or like maybe a year ago he did attempt a suicide. I don't know if he tried to jump off a building, but something happened there. So super grateful he's still around and he's making music and he's channeling that kind of pain and putting his best foot forward and trying to do better.
Damn, I didn't even know about
obviously
that.
That made it even crazier when I watched the video the second time after knowing that. I'm like, fuck, man, it was emotional. As one of the first rappers I really got into. I'm glad you're still kicking it, Absol. Jeez. And his new song, Gang and Them, is another great one. Kind of more so just talking about his roots and like kind of music video is all about his gang is there. And I think this guy Fresh is on it, who's like one of his OG buddies. Another fire one. He's 3 for 3 for me so far. I'm really excited for this album.
Moonshooter was good too.
Yeah, there's looking to be.
I didn't like Hollandaise that much, but
I think that was more of a Lucy. That was one that I think because that's around the time where Schoolboy Q put out the Soccer Dad song or whatever. So I think they were just kind of like trying to be like, hey, we're still here.
TDE's still around, right?
I think that was around the time Dreamville dropped that tape too, and they're just like, shit, we got to scramble and put out some fucking Lucy's or whatever, you know.
We could see a TDE resurgence in the next quarter, and then Dreamville's going to be on the back foot.
Yeah, well, because Sis is dropping December too. And Sir is like 3 singles deep.
For some reason, those are like the two main rap like.
At this point, yeah,
as far as like been mainstream labels that have like more like well-known people.
TD is still holding on somehow.
Other
without
pockets of music like Griselda or whatever, it's more underground. It's not really.
You don't expect them to do numbers, right?
But yeah, with kind of, and like some of the other big rappers in the game don't really have like
a whole crew. Like they were signed to a label, and then QC is like I guess was pretty big back in like 2016, 17 with Lil Baby and Yachty. And
like Drake doesn't really have a
OVO like he
really
signs people to OVO, but I'm pretty sure he just uses them as ghostwriters. Like I guess Party Next Door is probably like one of the bigger XO guys, or not XO, fucking OVO guys. But other than that, yeah, there's not much to show for in terms of Drake's
the smart ones like The Weeknd just like stop working with Drake and
yeah, exactly,
carve their own path, you know.
Don't need to talk about the Ski Mask song. It's kind of whatever. I didn't really enjoy it.
No, me neither.
Yeah, Ski Mask is whatever at this point. What do you think? Did you hear the new Slow Tie song?
No.
It's called I Know Nothing. It's very weird, experimental, kind of introspective raps, but like some guitar, kind of rock, punk vibes, which I fuck with. So look, I think the new album's called Ugly. It's coming out probably in the first quarter next year. So shout out Slow Tie. It's gonna be interesting. Rich Brian and Snot song is pretty good, pretty catchy. Music video is kind of weird. It's like a golf music. It's like also a heist mission. It's fucking weird. But yeah, Rich Brian with the catchy flows, good singing. Snot has a good contribution, pretty good track. It beats vibey. Zach Fox song. Did you hear that one?
Yeah, sipping
my tea. Pretty good. Not as. Like, it's a good rap song, but
I didn't laugh that much.
Yeah, but it's not like a funny. I think he's trying to be more of an actual like hard rapper rather than like a comedy rapper. Which
stick to the jokes, Zach.
I mean, all due respect, I respect it. Him wanting to get a little more serious.
I literally only heard the song one time.
Yeah, I heard it maybe once or twice.
I don't really have anything to say, to be honest.
I want to talk about the Joji album for sure. Smithereens, 9 tracks, kind of short. Comparing it to Nectar, it feels like almost more like an EP, especially because there's a few tracks that are like interludes or freestyles on here. I think there's a few songs that really do hit hard. Glimpse of Us I think is still great. Die For You. Night Rider I like. Yukon I like. There was one, some of it's Tomorrow Better Than Tomorrow.
Okay, so the album ends with an interlude, a demo, and a freestyle?
Yeah, and it's sectioned off. The first 5 tracks are like labeled 1 to 5, and then the last 4 tracks are like 1 to 4. So it seems like he kind of wanted to do an EP of just the 5 songs, and the label was like, no, you got to get more. And then he put on a
other
demo, interlude, and a freestyle. I really like the Yukon interlude, and Night Rider is good. Blah 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 demo is okay. 1 AM freestyle isn't that great. I like Dissolve, Before the Day is Over, Die For You. Yeah, I like the main tracks on here are good, and they're vibey, and it's, good for night drives, and it's good for introspection, and,
I like
fucking
Glimpse
R&B
of
shit.
Us.
Glimpse of Us, with a great video, too, of the kind of gang shit, and they're, like, kind of doing, they're hooligans, but, like, they're also going through heartbreak and shit. It's a pretty great video.
Whoa. Gangsters have hearts, too.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, I think it's pretty solid, but, yeah, it doesn't compare to some of his actual more full-length kind of projects, but his singing continues to get better. His songwriting probably maybe took a little bit of a step down compared to Nectar, but I'm just a big fan of that album, so That's what I'll say.
I gotta get the hookup on like what are the good Joji songs, like how to become a Joji fan.
I can send you a text and give you the
send
best
me a
ones.
brief.
Yeah.
Send me a PDF file.
Yeah.
Do a video.
A little Word document.
Just because I feel like some of the good ones could work on my...
No, because you enjoy R&B in general. It's a little bit more like soft, kind of lo-fi stuff with like not a lot of energy and like not really classic R&B sounding stuff. So it's kind of like if you're into it, you're into it. If you're not, it's not the fucking biggest deal in the world, obviously. So, but
no, if I'm not into it, I'm going on a crusade to destroy Joji.
Destroy George, his actual name.
Georgie.
Nice.
Georgia.
Start working on the Seinfeld millennial Photoshop for that one.
Yeah. And I'll say shout out the Fouché album. I only listened to it like once, but it's very reminiscent of Rico Nastia's album from this year in terms of like it's more of a kind of like a rock horror kind of punk shit. Even though like I'm really partial to her R&B stuff because her voice is like really suits that genre more so. There are a few songs on here that are kind of more of the softer R&B stuff where her vocals really shine. But there's some songs that are just like rock songs. I'm like, okay, it's just a punk song, and I fuck with it. It's just not as maybe good as her R&B stuff, but she's still pretty new in her career. So
there's so much more new music. We have to stop.
That's it. It's over. It's over now.
Next week we'll talk about Brockhampton.
Brockhampton, 2 albums, big moment for sure. We'll give them their time for sure. And
Big Pussy.
Oh, Big Pussy. Oh, that was kind of the vibe of that song.
The label said I need 35 minutes of music.
That's what they gave him.
Then they gave him more than 35 minutes of music.
36 minutes.
Yep.
Crazy.
We did it, boys.
Fucking game changers, Brockhampton, once again.
Brockhampton,
Changing the game.
back outside, boys.
Putting a song out that's longer than 3 minutes and 15 seconds? Holy shit.
It's dark outside. Let's get out of here.
Gang, I thought Treyway shit. Look at my steez, it's Taylor fit. My bitch looking like Taylor Swift. My bitch looking like Taylor White. God isn't real, but he's got that mass appeal, so I gotta respect him. Flippin' tricks, I tech deck him. Yo, up in my rectum, I reckon. Line him up and I'll wreck him, ayy. Line him up and I'll wreck him, ayy.